Hello everyone, welcome to my very first video in a while. It's been ages since I last recorded a video, so this is going to feel very weird at first. But anyways, this was meant to be like a live class, but for some reasons I was not available since Friday up to now. And yeah, I couldn't take the live class. So this morning, anyways, it might say something else on my time. Right. Oh, it says 11:29 a.m. whereas it is 8:29 a.m. Right. In my real life. This morning I just decided, hey, we can't keep skipping these classes, right? I have to figure out a way for this. And since I'm a bit free until 10:30, I decided to take this on. Today we're going to be talking about dependency injection. We're going to be experimenting it and trying to understand what dependency injection is. Uh, this was meant to just be like a dependency injection class or tutorial or something. But later, oh sorry, I have not updated this. Okay, I see now. Later, I kind of like, thought to myself, we can't just talk about dependency injector without talking about service locator because a lot of us when we write Flutter and that right or how we try to understand Flutter and that was using a package rather called Get It. And Get It is a service locator, and yeah, you can use it for DI also. And a lot of people just, they kind of like interchange. When I had to, it was dependency injection, right? A lot of people define service locator instead or locating service instead. And I've seen that confusion, and this is me trying to like, explain what a dependency injection is and how it differs from a service locator because they are not the same thing. They are very different. A service locator, as the name implies, is locating a particular service. Injecting dependencies is very much different. This is you injecting. I don't know how it sounds simple. For people that are confusing both, I'm going to try to explain it with a reward scenario. So this is not my updated file structure for the. I still made some updates recent. Well, I had this picture since last week for the last class, but this morning I just decided to have had the idea of a service locator. So one way I like to explain things is with analogies, right? So I was thinking about analogy that I can use for this, and one of the very analogy that I feel like is it's a bit generic enough is the idea of a car. A car cannot operate with without an engine, and yes, sorry. So, and the engine on its own, it's a very complex component. It has its own dependencies also. So it has a fuel system, it has an ignition system, and so on. I am not a car person, but I know that there are different type of engines. Oh, we have like V8. I don't know if we have V12. We have V6 for sure, right? And yeah, I might not know what makes up a V6 or what makes up a V8. Well, I know that these are different engines that operate on, a much more complex dependency. So, for instance, if you're constructing a car, the car cannot pick an engine. How best can I put this? So it's more or less like it is directly constructed into the car. So you're not giving the car an opportunity to play along to play with another type of engine. So let's experiment this in a real world scenario with a code, right? Using still like our engine class. But I will just create a new project. How am I supposed to create? I'm sorry again. Disclaimer, not a disclaimer, but yeah, just more or less like a warning. I have this mechanical keyboard that is not making my typing smooth. I think I made a mistake by a mechanical keyboard. I thought it was going to be cool. Or I'm still getting used to it. So I will definitely make a lot of mistakes while typing. Pending then, pending probably I get a new one or I get used to this keyboard, one of the two. Anyways, let's get onto it. So it's called Command Prompt on Windows. Yeah. So I want to cd it into my document and just create a new project. So that's great. What can I call this? Let's just call it car. That's something, yeah, something like this. So this is, I just want to like explain the concept of injecting dependencies and why you need to inject like a dependency. So we have our project created. Let's set it into the project. We call it car dots, car dots. I think it's I'm best off typing slow than trying to be fast on this. Okay, this, oh yeah, I forgot. This is a very wide screen, so a lot of things might be very small. I'll zoom in. This should be out. Yeah, yeah, this should be fine. So we have our very first project. I know you have to run this from the bin, but I don't like going through this first. I'll just delete this folder. I'll just delete this folder and let's have a main dot start here instead. In and then we have right main. We can decide to add a string argument or not. But anyways, we have a main method. Yeah, let's start. So let's clear this. Let's clear this. Let's delete this. So, like I was mentioning, right, every car is dependent on a particular engine. So, let's create our engine class and let's try to explain, dependency injection using this. So, engine dot that. Let's should we make it abstract or not? Right. Okay. Let's not make this abstract. Let's make this normal. So let's say we have a V8 engine. We have a V8 engine. We have a V8 engine. Um, it can start, right? It can start or start or something. I know that engine has like this ignition system. Permit me, car guys, right? Let's say I'm missing something. Apologies. It's not really my fault. Yeah. I don't know. Just forgive me. Let's just continue. So let's print what the hell is up. Okay. Let's print engine is starting. V8 engine. Its engine is starting. Note this is just we representing starting of an actual of a car, right? It's not like we are actually starting a car. But yeah, this is just we representing it using just a print statement. So yeah, we have a V8 engine. The engine can start. So for let's say for instance, right, you want to define a car. You want to define a car. Let's what car comes to mind? Let's say on the car is an Honda car. So Honda car. Right. We create an Honda car. Honda car. Like I already gave my disclaimer. I'll make a lot of typo as Google Photos telling me to look at this. Yeah, I'll actually make a lot of typos. So yeah, please permit me. Yeah, what can the car do? So every car has an engine. But the car of nowadays, you have to like you have to impute the engine directly into a system, and the car does not have like the flexibility of of having its own system. So let's say we have this on the car, right, and we want to use like a V8, use the V8 engine we defined earlier. I should have named this the V8 engine. Let's rename the V8 engine we defined earlier. We want to use the V8 engine we defined earlier. How we do this is we just type in final engine, but depending on how you define variables, so yeah, final engine equals to V8 engine. Final engine equals to V8 engine. Uh, this is fine, right? Okay, what can a car do? A car can drive. Or a drive. Yeah, at least I know I'm in the car can drive. And before the car drives, what has to happen? The engine has to start. This way that is unfriendly with me having I don't know, me having to talk for a long period. But yeah, then we can print something like the car is print the car is now driving. Is now driving. We have this, right? We have an Honda car that that starts. At least it works like a normal car. But there is a problem, right? And Honda or a Honda car does not, does not just have just one V8, does not rely on one V8 engine. An engine can be V6. So which creates a problem of, oh yes, if I really want if I really want to make this work, I should, I will have to create a whole V6 engine class, right? Yeah, normally you'd have to create a V6 engine class. I'll create a V6, seriously, a V6 engine class. I'll create a V6 engine class and class V6 engine. What does an engine do again? Let's check this. Oh, it starts. Let's just copy output from here and paste. So we have a V6 engine here. Whenever we need to update or we need to change the engine in this car, we need to come here and have to switch this to V6 engine. V6 engine. So imagine a much more complex system. You have to come and then start, manually changing all these things, right? So dependency injection kind of like relies on something called inversion of control. So this is we having to invert control. So instead of giving like the underclass control of the engine, we want to give something else, something, we want to give the application itself to be able to decide what kind of engine should be used. I hope you understand from this like baseline concept, but yeah, I think I'm trying my best there. So we need to we need to just invert the control, right? So that's just what will happen here. So instead of we having to give this on the car, oh yes, let's update the V6 engine, let's update the V8 engine. Let's create an instance of on the car so that we can just find out on the car equals to on the car. On the car does drive. So when we run this, I don't know what we should expect. So V6 is starting, the car is now driving. If we need to update this engine, we have to open the class and then update to V8 engine, which stressful, right? And it's not straightforward enough, and it makes your application very much coupled, right? So yeah, V8 is now starting. How do we solve this problem? How do we solve the problem of depending on having to depend on like you know on this different engine types, right? What we can do is we let's start basically, right? We can have like this generic class, an abstract class, right? That maybe contains like general types and maybe methods for the engine. So let's create an engine of that. A second, let me get water because I'm not okay with the way I'm coughing, and yeah, I'll pause this. Yeah, I'm back. Right. I hope it's going to be better now. But like I mentioned, the weather has not been very friendly. Anyways, back to what I am doing. Yeah, we're supposed to create an engine file. So we have an engine that contains like an abstract class. So let's create an engine uh class. Yeah, it's supposed to be abstract class engine. We have maybe a string type or something. A string type. Should we pass this through the constructor or not? Or not? Just empty string that implements itself or something. Then we can have another function. Yeah, what does an engine do again? An engine starts, right? So we can have a void starts. Yeah, it's just something as simple as this. Something as simple as this. So have an abstract class engine, and in this undercar, instead of passing, V8 V8 instead of we updating V8 engine, blah blah blah, we can just create an instance of an engine and pass it through the constructor. So final engine. What is my default box? A second. Okay. Yeah. The NQ fell out. One of the problems with this mechanical keyboard. Let's import this. So we're importing the engine and creating a constructor to generate a constructor. Blah blah blah. Why do yeah? So we have an engine, right, that is being passed into our own car. Then what we can do is we can make V6 engine implement implement engine. We can make V6 engine implement engine, and then we'll pass the type, right, which is equals to V6, right? Six. And we need to add override here. Override. Yeah. So we have V6 here. And then the V8 engine, same thing. Okay, what we can do is instead of this, and just say type starting. So we are not hard coding anything, or we are actually hard coding, but to an extent, we are not hard coding. Anyways, back to this. This also implements engine. This will implement engine, and then we have this missing, and we call it plus to V8. Yeah, string, and then override. So we have this type we have the type is starting. When we are defining the undercar in the main dot start, when we're defining the undercar in the main dot start, it requires an argument called engine now, right? It requires an argument called engine, and we can now pass whatever engine we want. So we can come here and define, let's say, an engine equals to this. Oh, sorry, equals to V8 engine rather. We can now define the engine from here and pass it into this. We can now define the engine from here and pass it into this. And yeah, let's run this. Let's run this. Why is it not running? Maybe it's running. Yes, where do I find this? Okay, so V8 engine is running. If we switch this to V6 engine, yeah, so the control is no more dependent on the underclass. I realized I've taken too long on this particular topic, so I would be continuing in a next video. See you in the next video.